Moments ago, I spoke with Congressman Moulton. Congressman, it's not just Harvard and it's not just Ivy League schools. Many student groups across the country are now coming out in support of Palestinians and blaming Israel. What are all these students missing?
Well, they're obviously missing the absolute horrific nature of these attacks, because anyone who's actually seen the photos or videos of what these Hamas militant terrorists did, that just has to be appalled. Just as a human, you have to be appalled. But they're also missing the bigger picture here, which is that we should be able to have a good, legitimate, honest, morally and intellectually honest debate about Israeli policies and Palestinian policies and where the Israeli government has gone wrong, where the Palestinians have gone wrong. But none of that justifies terrorism.
Yeah.
And that's what the student groups are doing.
Yeah, unlike many of these students who, by and large, for the most part, lead pretty privileged lives, you've actually been in some of these war zones and some of these hot spots. What aren't these students understanding?
Well, they certainly don't understand just the absolutely vicious nature of warfare and how, I mean, just indescribable these war crimes. That's what they are, these war crimes against innocent Israeli civilians are. And they certainly don't understand what it's like to be an IDF soldier being sent to the front lines in Gaza, a 22-year-old being asked to risk his or her life to now ensure that other Israeli civilians will be kept safe.
We've seen the president of Harvard University say, that is not our stance. Several other university groups have taken great pains and distanced themselves from these statements, which, just to be clear, they're not just saying we're in favor of Palestinian rights. Many of these statements are saying Israel is to blame for this attack on Israeli citizens, Israeli toddlers, babies. It's pretty extraordinary. Do you think, in some cases, one student, his name was made public at NYU Law School, and he lost a job as a result. Do you think the names of these students behind these groups issuing these statements should be made public?
Look, I think that's honestly going too far. What we want to do is make sure that these young college students learn and correct themselves, take responsibility for this. But ultimately, I would, what we want is people in society who make mistakes, take responsibility, own those mistakes, and then don't do them in the future, right? We don't want to further polarize this issue, which I think would be the result of, publishing these names. We are a country that values free speech, and we want to support free speech. And in fact, let me just emphasize, I support Palestinian rights. I'm a big champion of Palestinian rights. I have been perfectly willing to criticize the Israeli government in the past, just as I am so vehemently criticizing Hamas and their barbarous actions in this assault. That's exactly the kind of intellectual dialogue that we should have across America.
You can be fully in favor of a solution that is humane for the Palestinians who've been living in what they have called an open-air prison inside Gaza for 16 years. But to blame Israel for the attack and to celebrate the attack is something entirely different.
I mean, imagine if these same student groups had blamed America after 9/11 and said, "Oh, America must have upset some people in the world. That's why we got attacked." You can imagine that the response from places like Harvard would be quite direct, and it would have been faster than what we saw here.
I just need to also ask you, you are also a former Marine. You have spent some time in the Middle East. What is Israel up against, and what are the ramifications if they choose to go with this ground invasion of Gaza, something that has not happened in a very long time and by all accounts is going to be brutal urban combat?
Well, it's a very important question, because urban combat is the most difficult. And what we're talking about is a city many times the size of cities that we had a really tough time in Iraq, as a extremely capable and larger than the IDF United States military. But the most important thing is they've got to think about what the big picture long-term strategy is. Because even if they go in and crush Hamas like bugs, which is the quote of one Israeli defense official. What's going to happen next?
Right.
That's the long-term big question here, because obviously if they just return to the current status quo, having removed Hamas from the picture, that's not going to work. It hasn't worked for 15 years. So what we really need to see here is a better strategic plan for the long-term success and ultimately long-term peace in the region.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.